Okay, so welcome to JavaScript Fundamentals, and I am here to teach you the basic fundamentals of JavaScript. But first, we need to create a repository so we can store our progress in these lessons. Okay, so go to your GitHub account, or if you don't have a GitHub account yet, then create a new one. So here I have an existing GitHub account, and I will just create a new repository. So here we can see a new button which is indicating to creating a new repository, and click new the repository name. So I will just you can name it however you like it. So mine, I will just name it as a JS, simplified for JavaScript. Description, I would leave that empty. Visibility, well, it's your decision if you want it to be private so others can see what you are doing with your repository or what its contents, or public so anyone can clone or use your code. Readme, actually we don't need that. And yep, at git ignore no. Yep, so create a. Here, after you created a repository, you can see here this blue one, which is um, this thing is letting you to clone in your local this repository. So here we just copy this URL by this button and go to your VS Code or IDE. After that, go to your directory which you like to store the the repository that you have here. So for cloning a repository, it's just you need the keywords git and clone, and paste the URL you just copied. After that, just enter, and yep, it means it's already cloned. So to see if it's already cloned, we can actually list the folders inside of the documents, because this is where I cloned the repository. So since I am on Linux, and I know that when showing list of folders in Windows, it's just you need to use the dir keyword. Okay, so it's working here also. Yep, and here we can also see the JS, or the repository that we cloned on our local machine. And here we need to go to our repository. So change on cd, then JS. And here we are here inside. But this is just in the terminal. So in order for us to go there on the local repository, is that we open it, open folder, document.js, and boom, you are here. And obviously it's empty because we don't have any files yet. Okay, let's I, then after cloning, now we create folders. So it it should be organized here. What should fundamentals. And after having a new folder called fundamentals, is that let's go back into control terminal. After creating a new folder, is since we need to run the JS file and see the output in the terminal, because we don't want actually, or obviously we don't want to see the JavaScript output in the browser, because we know that JavaScript can only be see its output on the browser. And actually we can see it on the terminal. The only thing that we need is the Node.js. So first, if you don't have a Node.js yet, just download it and search it on the browser. But to check if you have one, you can just run node and do the version. And as you can see here, if you have one, then you can see the version of your Node.js. If you don't have one, well, it should be empty, or it would not show a version of your Node.js. So installing in Node.js, you can just search Node.js download. An example, you are in Windows, etc. Here, download Node.js, and here we can select on what operating system you are using, Windows, and then after downloading, you can check Node version, and it should be have a Node.js version. It's v22.22.0. Yep. After that is we need to create a package JSON, or package JSON known as like it's have the dependencies you're gonna be used, the scripts or the customized commands to run your project or your repository or some things. We need a package JSON, but to be organized, I just add it. So to initialize a package JSON is just we need to run a npm init. So that it will you can see this utility init so, and it will ask the package name. So JS, I will leave that as is. Version, yes. Description, I will leave that empty. Entry point, I'll leave that empty also. Test command here and here. Okay. And now we created a new package JSON. So here we can see scripts. These scripts are the customized command for that you can run on your project or in your JavaScript projects. But we can focus on that. But yep, we can add the sample. Start uh, start start node node and fundamentals fundamentals, and then let's create a new syntax js syntax js. Okay, so for us to see if it actually added on the scripts or the commands that on your project, is we can just run the keyword npm run, and we can see here the added customized command. If we run that npm run start, it's these two keywords are the default keyword in access in Node.js, and the third keyword is the scripts that you'll run. So we can also uh, run start, uh, the start and the test. So just run the test to see. So error no test is specified because we don't declare a file here to test. So let's test the, and it will be the same on the npm run start because we don't the syntax js have no contents yet. So let's just run to see. Yep, same as here, no outputs. So now here we are, the syntax of lesson. Here, advise that you go to W3 Schools because this is the website that I practice with when I am just a beginner in JavaScript, and now I am now developing SaaS or websites that are fully running, which is on front end and back end. Yep. So here, so welcome to JavaScript syntax. Syntax rule are the rules how programs must be constructed. So here, how to declare variables, how to compute values, and I am comment and this is the comment. So let's do that. So here, this is the comments. The shortcut of comments is just control and the slash forward, and boom, you can have a shortcut for the comment. So this is a comment or how you comment in javascript. This is how you declare a variable in JS. So let my name, sorry, it's wrong, my name penguin uh, uh, calculation in simple calculation in JS. So let x equals to 10, then let y equals to 11. So here, as we can see, unlike the other programming languages, is that we need to declare the variable type of the variable. Is that here in JavaScript we don't do that because JavaScript detects or what data type the value is. So since we have data types like int, float, string, and etc. And since this is number, this is recognized as a number automatically by JS. But if introduced in TypeScript, well, to have a type safety, because TypeScript is a type safety version of JavaScript, it needs to be declared with a data type after the variable. But here it's not working because we are using the plain JavaScript. As you can see, it's not working. Yep, type annotations can only be used in TypeScript files. That's what I am saying. So yep, this is a number. Then to calculate it, we can just let total or let sum x plus y. Console log sum, and this will add the variable x and variable y. And here we can just npm run start, and you can see here the total of the, the variable x and y. So we can just add it. The tot, total is let's test that. The total is 21. Okay, because okay, the total is 21. So we can see here the console.log is the responsible one for printing uh, for printing variables or etc. So we can see here the data type here, this is a string data type. Okay, because it's anything that is inside of these two quotations is treated as a string. So sample is a string. This is a string. Sample is a string. Okay, so these are the basics of JavaScript fundamentals. And we go here. Yep. JavaScript literals. The most important syntax rule for literals are numbers are written or without decimals. Strings are text written within double or single quotes. Yep, it's also can be let test. By the way, you can name your variable however you like. So I like mine to be named test. Okay, so actually I wanted test string. So string. So according to here, it can be double quotation or single quotation. So let's try a single quotation. Okay, so here it's um it's still a string, and we can actually check that if what data type data uh, type of test string. Let's see. Okay, so we can see the test string is uh, sorry, it's okay, it's actually treated as a string. Type of is just checking if what data type a variable is. Since the test string is containing a string called string, then it identified as a string, if you get it what I mean. So let's try the x of x. It should be number, I guess. So okay, I'm a number. So this is number, number, same as here on below, number, and these are the strings and strings. Okay, and JavaScript keywords. Now we have two types of keywords to create a variable. We have the let and the const. Well, the let is letting you the let is letting you to redeclare a variable with a new value. So here, if you don't know, this is the variable. The my name is the variable one, and the penguin is the value, which is the value of the variable my name is penguin. Okay, so here back to the keywords of syntax is just we have a let and const. So let means you can redeclare a variable with a new value. So let's test my name, like cyber penguin, and we can print it my name. Okay, so here we actually from penguin it changed to cyber penguin because it has the let keyword, means it can be redeclared again with a new variable, which is we have here a new one. Okay, so it changes. Yep. Okay, and we don't need actually a let keyword again if we are declaring a redeclaring a variable, because it would gonna have a error. Okay, cannot redeclare block scope variable. It means it has an existing let variable, which is my name. So in order to redeclare, it's just call the redeclarable variable, which is has a let keyword, and just change the value of that variable. And here, if we change it to const, hmm, wrong spelling. cons is that it means we can't redeclare it again, just like delete. So let's test it to prove sample. Okay, let's test. Okay, so here it throw an error, which is here it's assignment to constant variable. So the rule of syntaxes in JavaScript is that you can't redeclare a new value for a constant declare variable, which is the scenario here for the test string. Okay, after that, JavaScript are case sensitive. JavaScript does not interpret let as the keyword let. Okay, since JavaScript, as he says, or it says here that case sensitive, JavaScript does not interpret let as a keyword. So does not mean you're declaring a big L for the let, it will throw an error or says unknown keyword or identifier. Did you mean let? Okay, so yep, this is proof what. Uh, so it's only accepting. So it means JavaScript is a case sensitive programming language. Variables are containers for storing data values. Variables must be identified with the unique names. Okay, just like we do earlier. JavaScript identifier is the name you give to a variable. Can contain digits, can be served of a keyword. Case sensitives. Identifier also is the name that we give to our variable. So the variable is just a position, okay? So here, after this is a good one. The after the let is the variable one, and since the name of our variable is my name, which is the identifier of our variable, do we get it? Identifier is the name of the variable, which we have here on my name. The identifier of our variable identifier is my name. Below, below, below this is the variable of my name. Okay. So after that, you can must start with a letter, underscore, or dollar sign. So we can it can be uh, your your identifier or your variable can be like this, uh, dollar sign, dollar sign, and only underscores and dollar sign are allowed in identifiers. Okay, so my name and my name. So JavaScript uses arithmetic operators such as plus, minus, times, and divide. We can do that actually. So sum, you can just say total. Okay, so here we can JavaScript operators. We have the plus, equals, and time multiplication and division. So we can try that to so we can see minus. Oh wait. Oh yep. So we have a that's why it's having an error. Okay, so it worked. How about the multiplication? It worked also, and the division. We can also have a modulo here, or the remainder. Okay, so we try the expressions, camel case, upper camel case. So this is the identifier style on how you name it. We can see here underscore upper camel case, Pascal case. So this is a uh, uppercase, which is known as a Pascal case also, which is the first is a big capital letter, and the second is a big capital letter also, and the lower camel case, which is, I think it's called the snake case, if I am right. So smaller first letter, just like we have here, and a bigger capital letter in the next one. So here we completely done, but let's test uh, the expression in JavaScript. Times 2. Let's see what we have in this expression. Okay, so x plus y, 11 times mm, 21 and times 2. Okay, so yep, we are done on the syntax of JavaScript. So for the next lesson is we're gonna learn the statements, comments, variables, let const types, etc. But okay, and as we go on. And thank you for watching, and have a great day.